Entara Tesla, ladies and gents, my name is Kyle Harris, and this is a follow-up video to the recent PGA in inverted commas. It wasn't exactly a PGA, I didn't analyse the gameplay too much, but I wanted to make a point about going against Terran when they do go for this fast tech lab. So this is actually a ladder game that I played between Zaku, who was a 1.6k Terran, and I'm just 1.6k Diamond at the moment. I have like, so many bonus points, but I never get time to ladder because I'm always making you guys videos. No, I'm not always, but I'm always doing other things. We have like a zoo, so lots of pets to take care of. It's not literally a zoo, but it's pretty much a zoo, considering we have a billion pets. So yeah, this is going to be a video to show you what I personally do against Terrans that go for this quick tech lab on a barracks, and I've found so much success with this game, this strategy, and it can lead into other things. It really can. I know that some people think that this is kind of some all-in stupid-ass strategy, and Zaku at the end thinks this is an all-in stupid-ass strategy, but he was a retard who went for too many tech labs, too many tech options too fast, and according to him, played for the macro, but you can't play for the macro if you just get eliminated in the first 10 minutes of the game. So anyway, yeah, this is going to be a video showing this, and as you can see here, I'm just scouting around here. I do end up seeing this barracks, and I will see that it does eventually get a tech lab. So the basic strategy that I'm going to be showing you here is, initially, it looks like you're going for a very standard build. You're going to be wanting to get this first gateway out at about 13. I like to get it out at 13. You can go for it at 12 if you're wanting to really kind of speed up this tech or whatever, but it's by the by, it's not much different at all. As you can see, he's getting a little funny with the probe in my base. I'm going to turn the production tab on, and yes, again, this time it is on, so sorry to everyone who wanted that, but now it's there, as you can see. And again, you're going to be wanting to get an assimilator around 14, 15, 16, depending on your preference. So at some point I'm going to be going for this second assimilator, and as you can see here, I'm just planning to put down my cybernetics core on 18. My pylon's warping in there, not going to psylock myself too much, and he's coming in now to just be scouting my base again. So as we can see, we do see this quick tech lab on the barracks of Zaku. He's going to be pumping marauders quite heavily, and this is what I mean by, in my previous video, this is what I meant by countering the tech lab, not exactly the unit. So it's an indirect counter to what your opponent is going to be doing. You don't have to. The previous video that I showed was a Terran going ghosts and things like that, and getting EMP and using it on all your units. But there's not a whole lot of point in that if he can't get there in the first place. And this is what I do to prevent such a thing happening. This is a really nice kind of timing push in inverted commas against Terran, going for this big lump of marauder units. He is grabbing a refinery quite fast on this second barracks, which I was quite surprised by, but it still works nonetheless because of how your units are reacting to the opponent's units. So as you can see here, I do have my first zealot out. You're just going to be wanting to grab your warp gate technology as quickly as possible, and as you can see, I'm going to be getting this second gas pretty saturated pretty fast in order to be able to kind of accommodate what I want to do. So as you can see, my opponent is going for a Reaper. I'm not quite sure why he's going for a Reaper, and he does have this Ghost Academy coming out again. So again, actually, to be honest, this game is fairly similar to the game that I showed previously, but that was at gold level, this is at diamond level. It's a bit different. I am grabbing this second gateway, and as you can see, my first stalker is coming out. You really need this first stalker pretty quickly in order to be able to counter this Reaper, for example, that's going to be coming in, or any kind of marauders, marines that are going to be coming up your ramp, simply because a zealot just cannot deal with it at this point. So as you can see now, I'm throwing down a Stargate. So this is going to be a 2-gate Stargate build. I'm getting this Stargate around 27 supply, still being able to keep unit production from these gateways. It's really important not to go for this before you can actually fund units coming out from both of these gateways as quickly as possible. And as you can see now, this Reaper is going to go down very quickly and not going to be too much of a nuisance, although he has seen the Stargate. So in essence, he could quite easily prepare for this, but it's actually quite hard to prepare for this as Terran, in my opinion. He's got, as you can see, he's pumping out quite a lot of Marines, even got Marines coming out of his tech lab there. So he knows that a Stargate's coming, and he's applying the legitimate counter to it. And let's bear in mind, ladies and gents, that this is post-patch. So I am grabbing my first Void Ray, and I still think that Void Rays are a legitimate unit that people can use in an effective way, but people don't give them credit enough at all for how strong they can be. So you can see here I'm throwing down this pylon in a forward position in order to be able to warp units in as close to his base as possible. And I'm actually going to be throwing down a pylon in even closer to his base, since I see that he's not moving out at any point. And he does have this first ghost out as well, so it's going to be a very similar situation, except I'm going to be doing the first push, and he is going to be able to EMP this, so not too much of a problem. And as you can see, he's floating this factory over to do a bit of scouting. And I have thrown this second pylon in a more forward position in order to be able to get this going. So this is going to be the first push. You really want to make this first push, keep producing the gateway units as much as you can, and make this first push as soon as you get this first Void Ray. And as you can see, I'm going to be charging up this Void Ray on this pylon. I'm going to be moving into the unit base of my opponent, trying to keep the charge up on my Void Ray by attacking with that, attacking on that Stalker. And as you can see, I'm in the base now, and all you really need to do at this point is micro, specifically your Void Ray. You don't need to micro these units at all. Most Terrans will try to focus fire the Void Ray as much as possible, and that is the main strength of this, especially at lower levels, from like gold to platinum and etc, etc. People will think that Void Ray is the biggest threat and try and focus fire it as much as possible. And here comes Zaku with his OP blah blah blah, which it's not really OP at all. It's just been changed, hence me saying they've just got nerfed. But this is a really strong build against a Terran that does open with that original tech lab. And as you can see, we're about 9 minutes into the game, and I've already defeated a lot of his units here. We were probably at about the 8:30 mark when I was actually making this push. And do you remember back to the original video that I did just before? About the 8:30 mark, our Terran opponent, if he hadn't scouted a Stargate at all, would have just had about 6 to 8 Marines. That is not enough in the slightest to be able to deal with this. If you can just micro your Void Ray enough to the point where he's trying to focus fire, you just pull it back so it doesn't die, it's still charged up, and you can move your units up the ramp. The Zealots give you a nice coverage up here in this area. Let's actually rewind just a little bit, because I still have some time in this video, because it won't clip into 2 videos. Oh, come on. Right, here we go. Fantastic. So as you can see here, he's trying to focus down this, he was trying to focus down with these Marines here, this Void Ray, but the Zealots charge up the ramp, able to prevent the Marines from getting any further. And as you can see, just watch this, as you can see, these Marines here are spazzing about in the back, not doing too much, trying to focus down this Void Ray. And even if they weren't trying to focus down the Void Ray, they would have had no chance in order to be able to defeat these units right here, because there's just too many of them. The Void Ray just creates the illusion that it's still super powerful or whatever, and they need to get rid of it, otherwise they're going to die instantly, whilst the ground units pretty much just clean up what is going on in the base of the Terran. So I know I've elaborated over this quite a bit, and I probably should calm down, and it's not that amazing or whatever, but it's a really strong, powerful tactic. So give it a try. If you see your opponent Terran going for a quick tech lab, give this a shot. 2 gates into Stargate. This gate came down after this. You can quite easily transition into a 4 gate with Blink Stalkers, anything you like, or even more Void Rays if you so choose. So thank you very much for watching this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I also have a donate link, and I did get my 2nd official donator recently, so thank you very much for that. And the more donations I get, the more videos I can do, because obviously I don't have to spend time doing other things, if you know what I mean. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you guys next time.